Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it is the morning of July 1st, which means two things. It is time to reconcile our budget from June, and also that means that this budget planner officially is finished, and I will have completed one full year in this because I started it in July. And we will have to tuck this away and we will move into the new one, which I do have a flip through of my new one and how I have it set up, and I'll link that up here. But anyway, moving on back here to our June budget. This is where we will be. Actually, just kidding. I actually typically spend some time seeing what was what here. So let's see what was what. So gym fees were paid for both of us. My student loan was not paid, and we'll talk about that. Electricity was paid. My husband's minimum payment was paid. Cell phones were paid. Life insurance was paid. And let's see. Let's actually do our goals. Save $2,000. Yay! We did do that. And we try to do always the minimum. So anytime we do a budget of any sort, it's always a minimum. So either pay a minimum of X, Y, or Z towards debt, or save a minimum of X, Y, or Z. So that was a thing. This will likely not be a thing. We'll talk about how much we'll actually put towards my husband's student loans. Make sure all expenses, trips are cash flowed. Yes, we did pay all of our medical bills beginning of the month. Earn additional money through new income source. That was not quite a thing. And pay car insurance in full, and we did do that. So we just did not meet two goals. Yeah, we didn't meet two of the goals. Let's see what this says. Start paying on pest control in July. That was just a note for July. Call about student loans. Yes. Budget for Houston workshop. Yes, but I have not reimbursed my money. I can at any moment. I just am in no rush to do it. So eventually I will have to reimburse what I put into booking the space and everything for the budget workshop, but I'm in no rush. Like, I see the money, I just don't use it because, again, I'm in no rush, and I just kind of do it a little later. I thought we were originally going to do the budget workshop in July, but now since it's in August, I'll probably just wait until July to do that. I did do an income report, so I'll link that video up in a card too. But this is where we are going to stay. We're going to sit here and just kind of walk through and see how we ended up doing for the month of June. So let me go ahead and get zoomed in, and we will reconcile June's budget together. Okay, so we're going to start with my income, and I'm going to go ahead and calculate the total. And it was... I think it was a pretty good amount over what I budgeted for, but honestly, because we go over budget in certain categories, then it kind of ends up evening itself out, if you will. So, total income for me through all income sources was... Wait, hold on. Wait, I think I may be, because I'm almost at $9,000. Let me try this again. 252.26 plus... Oh, okay. Let me skip that one. Plus 500. Plus 2,458. Plus... Actually, that might be about right. Let me see. Or might be not. Okay. Somehow, some way, I did something wrong. So it was actually, so this isn't going to be plus or minus. This is actually going to be actual, because I don't want to mark this out and put actual because that will be ugly. I'm just going to write the actual amount. So I actually brought in $7,364.66. And this is after taxes, fees, and payroll deductions. So how we have this set up, which is very unique, but not like... we're not the only people in the world who do this. We actually have a lot more taxes being taken out of our checks purposefully, so that whenever tax time rolls around, we won't have to pay as much out of pocket due to the self employment income due to like Etsy and YouTube and all of that, which is not taxed. So technically this is after taxes, payroll deductions, donations, investments, whatever it is that's coming out of my checks. But also the same for my husband's. His income is just not reported here. But that's as for the overall big picture, this is after taxes and payroll deductions. So that was definitely about $1,000 more, which no worries. We probably spent that $1,000 because we went over budget in a lot of categories. So we'll mark through this because we don't include my husband's income here because we choose to either save it or put it towards debt, invest it, that kind of thing. So that's not included in the budget. So moving on to rent/water. So we were expecting to do $837, but we were thinking we would have to pay that pest control, but pest control had not billed our apartment complex yet, and they, I guess, can't bill us until they're billed. So I'm expecting that to happen in July. So it did not happen in June. So the total ended up being $620 even, which is our regular rent/water/trash and all of that. And this was our actual around the middle of the month. So these two obviously are the same because rent was due at the beginning of the month. Cable/internet, $110.72. Electricity actually came in at $242.27. Phones were $86.50. My allowance, so I was already over halfway through the month. I went further over budget because there was something that I chose to buy. I think stickers, yes, some stickers, which took me even further over budget. Although I will tell you that I have not spent any money since 6/13. So I shouldn't have been spending any money past 6/13, obviously, since I was already this far over budget. But I have not bought anything since 6/13. And I went further over at $192.46. And if you're wondering how we get away with going over budget all the time, which is terrible, and it's something like I'm working through like this course related to finances and relationships with money and all of that, and I'm trying to like identify some of my triggers and why is it that I overspend. A lot of it has to do with honestly earning more money, because if I'm like, oh well, this is how much I'm projected to bring in, and if I bring in this much, then this is what we would do with the money, and this is good enough. So if I bring in more, then that means basically I can spend that and go over, spend more. I purposely bring in money sometimes to purposely overspend or buy something. So I am like actively working through that, and I know that there are people on here who may be over budget all the time. There are people who may be under budget all the time. I try to set a realistic budget, and this is a realistic budget. Like as an example, 2 people should be able to date, because this is food/dates, and go out to eat and to get groceries for $600. That is realistic, but sometimes the overspending just kind of gets the best of us. So, and a lot of that has to do with me. So I am active. All of that to say, I am actively working to change my spending habits, because we're not quite at a place where I can spend this amount in different categories. Like eventually when we're debt free or what have you, maybe, but as of right now, we're not quite there. So I'm going to keep working on that. My husband also chose to purposely go over budget, but not by much. So he is over $106.74. Beauty. So this is a category that we went over in, and honestly it was this last fill-in that took me over, because it was $43, and well, actually not quite. So the way that the hair situation works, so and I mean we can attribute it to me having ethnic hair, but the hairstyle that I'm getting in July, it requires me to buy the hair, because I'm adding hair extensions, if you will, into my hair. So I have to have the hair before I actually go to my appointment. And if there's a sale or what have you, now obviously some type of specific savings account or sinking fund would do the trick for that. But originally I wasn't planning to get my hair done so early into July. So all of that to say, I spent $28 on buying actual hair to even put into my hair, which my appointment is going to cost like 3 times as much as that. So in doing that, I went ahead and bought the hair, which also took us further over budget. So actually, it was this last fill-in. It was not a fill-in because I get S&S. And then the hair kind of took us way over budget. So that is 2 nail appointments, a hair appointment. 2 nail appointments, eyebrows, my husband getting his hair cut. Oh, and then I got my hair done in June. So yeah, it was a whole lot, but that's why we're over budget. I don't explain that much, but that's why. Donations/gifts. We actually are partially under. So we do giving that I don't take. If somebody comes to me and asks for $200, I wouldn't take it from the family budget, if you will. I would take it from savings, which, it doesn't matter either way, technically, but I'd rather just take it from savings than from our checking account. So there is money out there lingering that I have loaned and what have you, and some of the donation/gifts is tied up in food, because a lot of times when we're out to eat, we'll just cover somebody's food or something. So I say all of that to say, I did chipped in on an anniversary gift, and my contribution was $16.47, and that was honestly almost at the end of the month, and I was like, oh snap. I'd better go buy somebody something or get somebody a gift, but it was just kind of weird to not do a gift at all. So that was my portion of my contribution for an anniversary gift that a lot of us got together and got someone. And then the other giving comes out of my check, like donating. And then some of the giving is tied up in here, and then some comes out of savings. A lot of it comes out of savings. So it's kind of confusing, but all in all, this is pretty much what we're going to consider to come out of donations/gifts. Toiletries, we went over here by a whole lot. We pretty much racked up on everything, which means July will be a breeze. That happens sometimes. Sometimes we can buy things, let's say we have 15 toiletry items that we buy regularly. I don't know, toilet paper, paper towels, deodorant, what have you. Sometimes we can stagger it, if you will, and then other times we're like, whatever, let's just re-up on all of it, restock on all of it, and then call it a day. And that's what we decided to do in June. Well, we called it a month because we had 3 toiletry item trips. Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is down here. I'll come back to that one. The next one is travel. We are way over here at $1,122.45. Wait, this is probably one of the worst months for spending. We're way over here. My trip to Miami was $472. That was everything, every single thing included. Food, my portion of the hotel, all of that. That was the beginning of June. And then I went to Atlanta for a girls' weekend. Both of those were girls' weekends. That was $154.43. That was my portion of everything. That was quite cheap. And then we went home. Obviously, we stayed for free for my brother's birthday, and I did a planner meetup there. I attended one and stuff, and that was $495. So it wasn't terrible. Once you break it down into each spending, for each trip, but altogether, it ended up being a whole lot. And originally, I think my husband wasn't coming home, so therefore I was budgeting less, but then he ended up coming, which, it's neither here nor there, but that's kind of what took us way over budget. Business, way over budget here as well. I don't even know how this was possible, but I do kind of know how this was possible because I actually accidentally placed the same order twice, which I do all the time, which is why I need an assistant. And then I had to buy more sticker paper than I imagined. Let's see, I spent probably $300 on sticker paper and probably $100 on mailers. I had to ship some stuff through USPS a couple of times. And then some of my domain and some of the stuff like that was up for renewal, so I ended up at $650.73. Personal trainer, I guess that's pretty much out because that gym is like finito. Like when I ride by, they don't even have the name of the gym on there anymore, so I guess it's just like completely shut down, which was news to me, and I didn't even know that that was going to be a thing. But I don't think we're going to be working out, so I can probably take that out of there. For gym, for both of our memberships, $39.98. For gas, we actually came in under $142.65, and that's gas running around town to and from work. Otherwise, if I spend gas to go out of town for a trip, I then take it out of the travel category because it is a part of the travel. Anything beyond this area is part of traveling. Car insurance did not come out of this budget. It came out of savings. That's why I have a star beside it, but it did end up being $945. And we paid that in full, so it's not due again until December. Life insurances together were $42.19. Renter insurance is not due again until next May. Food, we are over here. Although I will say, this is something that I'm kind of proud about. I don't know if I should be proud or not, but take off about 100 or so of that, and that is actually what take out about 100 or so from this, and that's what we actually spent because we tacked on a lot due to all the eating out and everything. We took my husband's mom out to eat, and I bought my friend some food when I went home, and then I bought stuff in Miami for other people. So like probably take off about 100 or so, maybe a little bit more, and that's how much we are over budget, which is about $100. And this is also dates too. This is food, this is restaurants, groceries, and dates. So sometimes I like separate dates and then I put it back in here because sometimes our date will consist a lot of times of a free activity and then like going out to eat. That's kind of like what we like to do for dates. So I'm like, well, that's food, so it should go in this category. So bear in mind that that was a thing, and we did do 2 specific dates in June. The next one, my student loan payment actually is not due until July. Yes, there was a mix-up about they didn't get my renewal recertification documents and whatever, so I didn't have to pay a payment in June, which my regular payment is like so much money, but the income-based payment, which is what I want to be on, is going to be less than $356.75. It's going to be like $220, so I'm happy about that. That's more money we can put towards my husband's student loans, which of course we're looking to finish paying off this year. And this one, so we'll probably go live in a couple of days to make our debt payment, but it's not going to be this amount. It's probably going to be, like, I'm rounding it, and it's probably going to be closer to, like, let me see. It's probably going to be closer to, like, $1,243. Well, that's his minimum payment, too. So let me add. We were looking at putting about $1,300 or so towards his loan. So in total, the payment that we're looking to make, and we will make this payment after my payday clears on Wednesday, because we like waiting until the next month's payday clears, and then we can start paying bills and know how much we're working with, and then go ahead and make that debt payment. People do this differently, but that's just the way that we do it. I know a lot of people do that. We are rolling over $300 even. So some of these numbers are like mad off because like I'm waiting for a couple reimbursements because I had to get a refund on the rental car, the first rental car. There's money that's supposed to be owed to us from different other sources. So that's why this always turns out to be a little janky. But miscellaneous, we actually ended up spending $213.51. So, over budget in that category as well. And that had to do something from Walmart for $30, $45 for something else. Oh yeah, that'll get you. My husband needed new contacts, because we went to get our eyes examined in February, so and we got contacts then, but he ran out, so he went to get new contacts, and they were $82 almost. So that's some stuff that I kind of forget to budget for, because I don't wear glasses and like stuff like contacts or whatever. So stuff like that I sometimes end up forgetting to budget for, or even, knowing whatever. So it probably would make sense to implement sinking funds at this point. I don't really care to right now, because I'm more focused on paying off debt. But I think that when we get a house, it will be of the utmost importance for us to have like sinking funds and like specific savings accounts for different categories, like contacts or co-pays and stuff like that. But this is how we did for the month of June, over in a bunch of categories. But one positive is that we did bring in more money than what we anticipated, and we were able to meet a lot of our goals and pay our car insurance and all of that. But you guys, I have never been more motivated to do right. So I'm especially motivated for the month of July, and I guess only time will tell how motivated I actually am. Honestly, we don't have any trips planned for July. I'm trying to plan just like one getaway for one weekend in July, but we're not planning any trips. So where we had originally budgeted like $1,200 for travel, because we're not doing the budget workshop, we don't have to do that anymore, because we're not doing the budget workshop in July. So that makes me really happy. So July should honestly be okay, but the budget workshop is going to be August the 10th. Let me make sure I'm telling you correctly, because I do not want to tell a lie. Yes, the new date is going to be August the 10th, 2019, of course, in Houston, and same details. And you can buy tickets on my website, shaybudgets.com or elainemichelle.com. Of course, you can just click the link in my description box, or I'll probably link it in the comment section, and you can buy your ticket there if you would like to be in attendance. And that is going to be a workshop, a budget workshop put on by Michelle and myself. So anyway, that is it for this video, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.